Hi, this is Terry with Central Valley Air Gunners and FoxAirPower.com. How's everybody doing? So look at this. We're back on the Challenger Pro. We're going to look at the 25 caliber. A lot of people have been asking how to adjust the regulator. So that's just what we're going to do. I'm going to show you how to adjust the regulator. In my opinion, the regulator is set by AEA at the max setting. I mean, seriously. They've got this thing maxed out. And what you might find out if you do turn the regulator up is that you might experience some valve lock. That's okay if you do. Just go back in and turn the regulator back down. I think if anything, you can turn the regulator down. I think this thing was shooting 33 grain JSBs at over 1,000 feet per second, 1,100 feet per second. If I'm remembering correctly, 1,100 feet per second plus. We all know that's too fast for pellets. So there's a lot of other great ways to turn the gun down. The power wheel, number one. I've got my tuning video, the chronograph video I did with this gun, and you saw what happened when I turned it down. This is very effective. No real need to go into the regulator. Here's where the reg's set on this 25. What is that? Like 130 bar? 125 bar? I'm sorry, 175 bar. About 175 bar. Something else you can do if you want to turn the gun down is install the standard spring that comes with the gun. Right now, it's the high efficiency spring that is in here. It's the high powered hammer spring already installed. So you already got high powered hammer spring. The regulator is pretty much set at its highest setting. And with this at its highest setting, your pellets are going way too fast. And I still say the best way to control this gun is right there. It's the simplest and quickest way to do it. Anyway, let's show you how to do this reg real quick. Okay, so the first thing we're going to want to do is degas the gun. And you're going to want to do that by loosening up the regulator gauge. Do not loosen up the air tank pressure gauge. Always degas it with the regulator gauge. And again, just counterclockwise until you hear that. And take your time, let it take its time. It's going to take a couple minutes. So, okay, we'll come back to that. So a second ago I said that this was set at its highest setting. When that's incorrect, of course you can go higher. It's almost out of air. What I should have said is the factory has it set at its most optimum setting. Okay. Almost out of air. Okay, so you don't have to de-dress or undress your gun. You can leave the scope on it. You can leave the bipod on it. Actually, bipod on it is probably best, right? So all you're going to want to do next is simply remove this air tank. You can't do it if there's air in it. It will not budge. The high pressure air locks everything in place. So. A lot of beautiful threads there. Okay. There's the tank. And there's the regulator adjustment right there. So let's take a closer look at that. Okay, and this is how you're gonna adjust your regulator. Got a number 6. On this gun, it's an 18mm open-end wrench. That's gonna unlock the lock nut there. You're gonna wanna make sure that this inner adjusting stud or bolt doesn't move when you unlock this nut, right? So, counterclockwise, unscrewing this thing is going to increase the regulator pressure. And of course, so clockwise is going to decrease the regulator pressure. I would suggest like 1/8 of a turn in either direction is going to get you approximately 10 bar, you know? So quarter turn is going to get you approximately 20 bar. Either direction, up or down. And that's not set in stone. You've got to make your adjustment and fill it back up with air again and see where you're at on the reg. And one other thing that I should mention is very important. Doing this kind of work, you really do need a chronograph so you can actually test your results. You know what I'm saying? So get a chronograph if you don't have one. One other thing I guess I should mention is once you've got your adjusting stud where you want it, make sure that you lock the lock nut back down again. Okay. So screw your tank back on, of course, and you're done. Like I mentioned earlier, the other thing you can do to decrease the power on this gun is to install the standard spring, because it does have the heavy hammer spring in it right now. So again, I want to mention the best way to control this gun as it sits from the factory is right there. Anyway, let's do the spring real quick. I'll show you how to do that. Alright, so I took the scope off, I took the buttstock off. This is a 2.5 millimeter Allen. It's gonna remove the dust cover for you. You're gonna see 3 bolts in there. The center one is a 3 millimeter and the 2 outside ones are 5 millimeter. So let's go ahead and remove those real quick. All right, I'm gonna remove the center bolt first. With the number 3 Allen, and this is the number 5 Allen wrench. These bolts are the bolts that's actually holding the buttstock hinge in and the spring tension and all that. So okay, so you're gonna want to grab that so it doesn't fly out because it's spring loaded. And you remove these 2 bolts and voila, there's your heavy hammer spring. Then grab your standard spring and slip it into place where the heavy hammer spring was. And that's it, man. That's how you change out the hammer spring in the Challenger Pros. Just put everything back together and you're all done. Okay, and once you have it back together, of course, run it across the chronograph and see what kind of results you got with the spring change out. If you don't like it, you can always go back and change the spring back out. These adjustments only take minutes. And again, I said before, I think the factory's got it right out of the box. These things are tuned pretty much perfectly. And the best way to adjust the power, again, is right there. That's the simplest way. It's an external adjustment and it's very effective. Okay, so to adjust this, you're going to want to get your number 3 Allen, go around to the other side here, and loosen this lock nut. Okay, and then you go back around here, and you can turn this in either direction, any way you want. When you're done, make sure you go around the back side there and lock it back down. So straight up is full power, right? This is minimum. Complete minimum power. And again, we're turning it up to full power and exactly the same minimum. So, and there's all that range in between on both sides. Both sides are the same pretty much, but you know, play with your gun, get to know it, you'll figure out what it likes best. And when you're done, again, remember, go around to this side and lock that back down. That's how you adjust these guns. So some of you will ask me why I didn't actually make adjustments and test my results. The reason is that everybody's results are going to vary. The results I got may not be the results you get, and I don't want to confuse anything. So I hope these demonstrations helped. I hope it answered questions that people have been asking on how to do these things. Yeah, that's my intent, to help people. Anyway, okay. That's all I have for today. This is Terry with Central Valley Air Gunners and FoxAirPower.com. I want to thank everybody for being here, and thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Hey, one more thing I would like to mention. Let's not forget, I have all the Challenger Pros in stock now. 22, 25, 30, and the 35 cal. All of them. So head on over to FoxAirPower.com and check them out, man. I got a lot of other models too. A lot of selection. So, all right, man. Thanks for being here. See you next time.